Yeah. He was, I call him a sociopath. I mean, I think that he wants to win no matter what. He was willing to do whatever it takes to win. He didn't care who he stepped on, who he killed, who he would act like a little girl if he needed to. He'd turn around and chop snap your neck off, It developed, it developed. We spent about 5 months just in a room, and we just kept working on the material.
From you, do you try to impart knowledge or your experience onto other actors?
Not purposely, maybe, but just by example. I'm too busy doing my job. No matter how far along you get in this business, I think there's still a certain fear that that you don't want to screw up. You want to do a good job. So if you learn anything from that, good.
Somehow, I have no idea how we've managed to keep it secret, given the internet and all this stuff, because somehow it hasn't come out. I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey.
He was involved in this to some extent. There was a meeting at their apartment at which you allege that there were some senior production people who witnessed him allegedly berate Justin Baldoni to the point where these third parties felt upset that they didn't do more to stand up for Justin, that they thought Ryan Reynolds was so abusive.
I came home and I remember my face being so flush with blood and heat, thinking about this impending disaster that was about to happen, and also really kind of rooting and sitting in that rebellion of the moment too. Like I'm doing something for me. I'm standing up to this.
And you, decent guy?
No.
Terrible human being.
How old are your girls now?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Deadpool's done. Like, we will never let our husbands go see this movie. Any of this. Ryan Reynolds is done. Like, there is something very disturbing about this man and the way that he plotted to just like infest every layer of Justin Baldoni's life just to show him who had power and who had money.
He said about you?
No.
He said working with Denzel was a sort of a lifetime dream, and he said you're just about the best actor going. And the problem that brought for him working with you was that sometimes when he was in a scene, he would forget to act and he would sit there and be watching you acting.
Oh, is that what it was?
He would.
I just thought he was terrible.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. Hollywood loves its bright smiles and charming couples. But Denzel Washington, a legend in Hollywood, has a lot to say about Blake and Ryan, but mostly Ryan, and seems determined to remind us that not all that glitters is gold. Publicly, their banter might appear playful, yet stories from within their social circle suggest a far less adorable dynamic.
Something, he's not so funny. In real one, no, he's not so funny. He's very serious.
Blake Lively, her brand, Ryan Reynolds' brand, have totally been tarnished by this because the world now sees them for who they are. They cannot act their way out of this.
Hidden behind Ryan's endless smirks and Blake's meticulously curated Instagram posts, there's a grim reality of manipulation and control that the public rarely glimpses. Rumors swirl that every gracious soundbite and comedic social media jab is more of a mirage than a mirror of who they truly are. Word on the street is that both of them are so obsessed with maintaining their polished power couple image that they've turned everyday life into a performance. From alleged arguments on movie sets to biting remarks at fancy Hollywood gatherings, they have reportedly perfected the art of fake smiles, genuinely charming until the cameras stop rolling.
He was lying to every night, going to bed, making up details about the day and what he did when really, he was off doing something completely different.
At which point they're said to slip back into their less than pleasant ways. Far from the flawless duo they like to portray, insiders whisper that they're more like two scheming tyrants, elbowing their way through the industry by any means necessary.
On Justin, and that Blake had spent the entire prior year trying to wrest control of this movie away from Justin Baldoni. It was his film. He was the director. He's the producer. He's the one who found the book and got the idea for it. And she was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film, even if she's the lead, and that she's now tried to turn this whole thing into a PR victory for her to get past what appears to be the fact that she is an egotistical bully.
Just have the courage to pick up the phone and apologize. We don't even need to be aware of it. Pick up the phone and apologize to Justin Baldoni. I don't even want you canceled. You're just a typical Hollywood slug, follower, could never be a leader. All of you just trying to climb to the top, whatever. It means nothing to the rest of the world. Nobody cares what Hollywood thinks. But try to have a little bit of decency and dignity and right the wrong now, because it is never worth it to sit with the cool kids if the cool kids are just going around kicking puppies on a Friday night.
Now, before we take this deep dive into Hollywood's most manipulative and controlling couple, don't forget to like and subscribe because let's face it, I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea. If the rumors hold even a grain of truth, Ryan Reynolds treats every film shoot like his personal kingdom. While he cracks jokes in interviews about how he just wants to have fun on set, crew members have whispered a different story altogether. They claim that once the camera's power down, he shifts from harmless joker to controlling taskmaster. He's been rumored to dictate everything from the lighting angles that best capture his comedic brilliance to how co-stars should deliver their lines, presumably ensuring they never upstage him. One particularly shocking account from an unnamed source suggests that if Ryan senses anyone else's performance might outshine his, he'll find a way to sabotage it, sometimes nudging the director to trim the other actor's best bits in editing.
On Deadpool, where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me, but to me. So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny and then we can leave and get back. And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No,
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
Why is Ryan doing this? And the other weird thing is like, maybe he got, I think he's kind of an insecure dude.
Ever notice how in certain movies his co-stars seem mysteriously muted? Perhaps that's no coincidence. The rumor goes that even when he's not the official producer, Ryan wields enough influence to twist the post-production process in his favor. In other words, every shot is carefully orchestrated to keep him at the center of attention, which he evidently believes is his rightful place in the world. And when it comes to Blake and Ryan behind closed doors, the pair's desire to be top dog reportedly leads to explosive clashes. You'd think two control freaks in one household might find a way to manage their mania, but gossip from whispered corners of the industry hints that their battles can be intense. They each want to be the star of every show. And when you have two big egos under one roof, there isn't enough spotlight to go around.
And that's what Blake Lively says in a text message, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, and that they are powerful advocates for her.
Rumor has it that Ryan tries to direct every aspect of Blake's career choices, telling her which roles might bolster their combined brand and which scripts aren't on message. Meanwhile, Blake allegedly asserts a rigid schedule for Ryan's comedic tweets, brand endorsements, and interviews, making sure each one bolsters not just him, but also her. The resulting friction, according to those who claim to have seen it firsthand, is epic. One day, Ryan's frustrated because Blake wants more social media attention. The next day, Blake's in a huff because she thinks Ryan's hogging the headlines. Their home life in these tall tales sounds like a pitched battle of wits, with each trying to outmaneuver the other while still maintaining a united front for the fan base. Ryan and Blake project an image of being best buddies with everyone in Hollywood. They show up at star-studded events, pose in silly group photos, and gush about close friends in talk show interviews. Yet certain acquaintances claim that Ryan's friendly facade dissolves the moment the cameras are gone. He may joke around with co-stars publicly, calling them his dear friends, but off-camera, he is rumored to keep them at arm's length, refusing genuine closeness for fear they might overshadow him or leak details of his manipulative tactics.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable. I remember the next day I walked on and I said, "You get off my set." And it's the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared and I said, "You can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you again."
Blake isn't exempt from these accusations either. Word travels that she's the queen of playing hot and cold. To someone she believes might be a stepping stone to greater fame, she's sweet as syrup. But if there's no clear benefit to her career, she reportedly won't give them the time of day. Even at private Hollywood parties, the couple is said to operate like a tag team, scanning the room for big-name producers or potential brand collaborators while ignoring or dismissing less useful guests. Their entire social life, if you believe the stories, is one giant networking spree disguised as glamorous fun. One of the most puzzling aspects of Ryan and Blake's public image is their supposed humility. They're forever self-deprecating, making jokes about their own lives as if they're still everyday folks. But those who've interacted with them in more personal settings scoff at this image. Off camera, they supposedly radiate an air of superiority that demands constant attention and praise. Ryan, for example, might claim he's just a big goofball while simultaneously demanding last-minute changes to an entire film schedule so it aligns better with his comedic spontaneity. Blake, meanwhile, may post about how blessed and grateful she is, carefully skipping over the rumored behind-the-scenes drama that she either sparks or thrives on. She's said to be so fixated on overshadowing any competition that her gratitude is only genuine if she's sitting firmly at the top. Should a friend or co-star start to gain more accolades, her mood reportedly shifts to ice cold real quick. And yet, whenever a camera lens is near, it's all sweet giggles and oh, I'm so lucky to be here. If that isn't carefully engineered fakery, it's hard to imagine what would qualify. While they remain adored by their fan base for the time being, there's murmuring that the Hollywood establishment is tiring of Ryan and Blake's relentless brand strategy. Executives, co-stars, and directors, once charmed by their comedic social media presence, have allegedly grown weary of the controlling behavior behind the scenes. Casting directors whisper that working with Ryan can be a logistical nightmare if you want to keep creative control over your project. Likewise, some producers shy away from Blake because they sense that her demands for top billing and curated press coverage can overshadow the entire production process.
Stylist, I'm the costume designer on Gossip Girl, but anyone who works with me, I love it's like drinking through a fire hose. You're like, wow, I come in and I'm like, this is what we're gonna do. But it's just because I really I find that fashion is storytelling. It's a way to message so much more than you can with words sometimes. It's a silent way to message things. So the way that I come into a character is always through the fashion and through the costumes. So
saw in another interview you said that Ryan, actually, your husband Ryan Reynolds, wrote part of that rooftop scene.
No,
is that
did.
true?
Yeah, that's, I mean, I would have to compare it to the original one, but that's 90-something, 99% his. Yeah, he just added, I mean, Chrissy Hall wrote an incredible screenplay. It was, one of the reasons that I wanted to do this film. But also, there are natural tweaks and modifications that come in when the actor is hired and you're trying to infuse your own personality and your own authenticity. And it's like, women are people of multitudes. And, I think that it was important to me that it didn't just feel like someone's interpretation of like female gaze. Like it really was, this is what we like, this is what we listen to, this is what makes us feel these vibes. And we had an incredible music supervisor, Season Kent, and one of our editors, Shane Reed, who, fun fact, he was my editor on Taylor's music video that I directed. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, this guy is amazing. And he never edited a movie before. He just finished Deadpool and Wolverine, and he came on and helped us with this one. And he has incredible taste in music. And we share the same composer as well from Deadpool and Wolverine. So there's a lot of sharing.
So far, the couple's star power hasn't waned enough to dethrone them. They still rake in viewers, and their social media antics keep fans glued. But there's a sense in certain film circles that a reckoning might be on the horizon. You can only push so many people around for so long before the industry collectively decides your golden halo is tarnished. Then again, if Ryan and Blake are anything, they're experts at damage control, always ready with a new sugary social media post to distract everyone from the latest on-set meltdown or rumored power grab. Few topics are off limits when it comes to the Reynolds' lively quest for global adoration, and that includes their children. While many celebrities strive to keep their kids' lives private, Ryan and Blake's online banter and red carpet jokes sometimes drag the entire family into the spotlight. To some onlookers, it's adorable. But to those who've encountered them, there's a persistent feeling that everything, even the kids, is used to maintain a carefully tailored brand. Insiders say that Ryan might joke publicly about fatherhood, painting himself as a doting, clumsy dad, while privately, any unscripted moment that doesn't align with his comedic brand might be swiftly shut down. Similarly, Blake will gush in interviews about motherhood, but the second the cameras are off, she might be barking orders to ensure the next photo op is perfectly orchestrated to amplify their wholesome family image. For those who have worked with them, it's hard to shake the impression that the couple is marketing their personal lives as if they're the latest Hollywood blockbuster, complete with a manipulative script, staged family moments, and plenty of behind-the-scenes drama. Despite all the rumors and gossip, one thing remains certain. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have crafted an incredibly potent facade. They seem unstoppable, collecting brand endorsements, starring roles, and public adulation as though they were the new royal family of entertainment. Yet, if these whispers are to be believed, their on-screen charm is merely a veneer for scheming personalities obsessed with image maintenance and controlling every aspect of their environment. Some say it's only a matter of time before the cracks in that perfect persona widen. Whispers of disrespectful behavior, controlling attitudes, and toxic competitiveness rarely stay buried forever in a town as talkative as Hollywood. But for now, they sail on, buoyed by viral social media antics and that endless parade of comedic one-liners. Perhaps that's their biggest trick of all. Keep the public laughing, and they'll hardly notice the cynical maneuvering happening just behind the curtain. If you dissect their behavior from a purely strategic standpoint, it's clear they have a talent for spinning negativity into opportunity. Whenever a new rumor emerges, like how Ryan apparently overshadowed a co-star or how Blake allegedly froze out a rival, within days, there's a lighthearted tweet or Instagram post that shifts the narrative back to, "Look how down-to-earth and hilarious we are." It's almost impressive how seamlessly they reel the public back in, overshadowing negative headlines with comedic gold. They've also maintained a circle of influencers and friends who quickly jump to their defense. Whether these defenders are genuinely enamored or fear the couple's influence is up for debate, but it's undeniable that Ryan and Blake have networks that ensure any dissenting voices struggle to gain traction. Given how many big-budget directors, producers, and journalists enjoy the pair's comedic stunts, it's not surprising that detrimental stories get drowned out in a sea of supportive social media comments and upbeat interviews. Hollywood is no stranger to power couples, but rarely have we seen a duo so adept at controlling the narrative around themselves. Ryan may have years of comedic experience to deflect criticism, and Blake might use her fashion influence and screen presence to build an aura of timeless glamour. Together, however, they form a formidable force, one that sets the rules of engagement for everyone around them. If you want to stay in their good graces, you play by their script. If you don't, well, good luck getting any positive press the next time you step onto a red carpet. Rumor has it that even close friends who question their tactics find themselves quietly iced out. Ryan might conveniently forget to mention them in interviews or skip promoting their projects. Blake might abruptly unfollow them on social media, sending a subtle message that they're no longer part of the approved narrative. Over time, they've refined this approach into a ruthless strategy, all while fans remain blissfully unaware, lapping up every comedic roast or adorable family anecdote the couple throws their way. Any illusions in Hollywood can dissolve in an instant, often triggered by a single viral slip-up. A leaked audio clip, an off-guard video, or a brave soul stepping forward with a detailed tell-all could unravel the pristine tapestry Ryan and Blake have woven for years. But for now, they seem invincible, perched at the apex of public adoration. Still, the question lingers. How long can they spin these yarns before their real personalities poke through the polished veneer? Are we nearing the day when an aggrieved ex-co-star spills enough insider dirt to permanently tarnish their golden couple status? Or is their brand so bulletproof that they'll skate by, continuing to rake in fans and accolades no matter what new controversies emerge? One thing's for sure, if they do fall, it'll be a spectacle more jaw-dropping than any movie cameo or viral tweet. Perhaps that final act, when it does arrive, will show the world just how manipulative and controlling these two can be when the chips are truly down. At the end of the day, even the glitziest Hollywood facade can hide a labyrinth of ego, manipulation, and ruthless ambition. Despite the smiling, comedic performances that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively put on for the masses, tales of their cutthroat, controlling natures are as persistent as they are damning. Their supposed sugar-sweet brand might be nothing more than a glossy cover for a darker reality, one where they pull the strings with near sociopathic precision. You might buy into their playful personas, or you might see the cracks emerging in their carefully curated image. Whichever side you land on, remember, in Tinseltown, appearances lie as easily as social media posts go viral. And for Ryan and Blake, presenting themselves as the beloved comedic duo may just be the biggest and darkest performance of all. So, what do you think? Are Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively really the picture-perfect sweethearts they appear to be? Or could there be more smoke behind all those rumors than anyone's letting on? Let's hear your take in the comments. If you've got any more wild stories or secret gossip about Hollywood's so-called power couples, spill the tea below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because trust me, there's more jaw-dropping drama on the way that you won't want to miss. At the end of the day, reality in Tinseltown is hardly ever what it seems. Whether Ryan and Blake truly are the scheming manipulators that whispers suggest, or just regular folks caught in the spotlight, the rumors still fly fast, and we'll keep following them wherever they lead. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, when it comes to Hollywood, sometimes the biggest smiles hide the darkest truths. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed. Only on Tea Time with Tina.